Hello everyone and welcome back to another math video. Today we're going to be looking at the area of compound or composite figures, similar to the problems that you see up on the screen here. Just a reminder, this is the normal version. If you'd like the speedrun version, where we go through it pretty quickly, I will link that in the description below. All right, your Ricasso Recap starts now. In 30 seconds or less, here's what you need to know before you start this lesson. Firstly, you should already know how to find the area of rectangles. Secondly, you should know how to find the area of triangles. And lastly, you should know how to find the area of circles. If you want refreshers on either of these three topics, I will link videos in the description below. Please go watch that before you start this lesson. All right, new lesson starts now. Here we go. So it says, what is the area of this figure? And this is not a shape that we have a set formula for. However, what we can do is we can sort of basically cut this shape into smaller shapes that we know how to do. For example, if I were to cut right along this line and cut out this shape, this is now a triangle, and I know how to find the area of a triangle, okay? And similarly, we can cut out this shape here, and we can cut out this shape here. So let's start with the smallest one. To find the area of this rectangle, this is 2 by 3, so we do 2 times 3, which is 6. Let's keep track of our areas over here because we're going to add them up, right? Each piece, we're just going to add up all the areas. Now, for the middle shape, it looks like a square, but we're not sure because I know this side is 6 because they told me that's 6, but I don't have this side or this side. So in order to find one of those sides, well, we can look right here, and I know that this part is 2, that 2 because of this 2 right here. And I know this part is 4, which means that the whole side is now 6. And so the area of this square slash rectangle is 6 times 6, which is 36. Our last shape, which is a triangle, we are also missing some measurements because we need to know this whole side here, and we do not. So to find that side, let's look right here. Let's make a little room here. So I know from here to here is 3, and I know that from here to here, well, the whole side has to equal 6, right? Because we found the 6 a second ago. So that means this part has to be 3. So now in the triangle, this part is 3, this part is 4, which means the whole side here is 7. So now to find the area of the triangle, your right angle is here. So this is 1/2 times 4 times 6, so the area is 21. When you add up these three numbers, you get that the area is equal to 63. And this is miles squared, or square miles. This is our final answer. All right, here's our cool clock for today, which means that it's time for you to practice what you just learned. Go ahead and pause the video and try these two problems on your own. And when you're ready, you can unpause the video and we'll check your answers. Okay, now that you've had time to work these problems, let's check your solutions. Okay, for the first problem here is the work. You should have gotten 75 square miles. And for the second problem here is the work. You should have gotten 109 square centimeters. You might have cut these problems a little bit differently, but as long as you're ending up with the same answer, all good. All right, for this one, we've got some circles going on here, so that's a little new, and it's not even full circles, so let's talk about it. Let's cut here. So we've got this sort of half circle here. Let's do this circle here in red. Then we'll do this here. And we need one more color. Let's do blue. We got this here. All right, let's look at the circles first. Let's start with this circle down here. This is half of a circle, right? Because if you were to continue the lines, right, that would be the full circle. So this is exactly half. This is a semicircle. So we need to find a radius because the formula is pi r squared for the area of a circle. So we need to know what this is here. In order to find that, I know from here to here is 3. And I know from here to here, if I look at the opposite side, I know that's 9. So that means the whole thing is 12. The diameter is 12, which means the radius is 6, sorry. Now, we're going to find the area. So we know it's pi times r squared. So we're going to do, let's use 3.14. Always use 3.14 for pi times 6 squared. When we type this into the calculator, we get 113.04. But remember, this is not a full circle, right? This is only half of a circle. So we need to take that answer and we need to divide it by 2. Okay, and when we divide 113.4 divided by 2, we get 56.7. So that's for this half circle here, the area is 56.7. Now let's look at the red part of a circle here. This is a quarter of a circle, or 1/4 of a circle, right? Because again, let's look at if you continue the lines. If I continue this line, that would be half the circle. And if I kept going around, that would be the full circle, right? This is 1/4 or 1/4 of the circle. So we know the radius is 5, because this is 5, goes from the center to the edge. So we're going to do 3.14 times 5 squared. And I'm out of room. Let's move this up. So we're going to do 3.14 times 5 squared, which gives us 78.5. But remember, this is only 1/4 of a circle, so we need to divide that by 4. When we do that, we get 19.625. Notice it says round your answer to the nearest hundredth. We're going to do that at the end. So just leave it as 19.625. For the green rectangle, actually let's do blue since I have that color. 3 times 4, which is 12. And for the green rectangle, this is 9 by, let's see, this is 2, 5, 7. So this is a 9 by 7. I got that from this is 2, this is 3, this is 2. So 9 by 7 is 63. And now we add up all of our numbers, which gives us a grand total of 151.325. It says round to the nearest hundredth, so final answer 151.33 square feet, and this is our final answer. All right, time to practice. Go ahead and pause the video, try these 2 on your own. When you're ready, unpause and we'll check your answers. Okay, now they've had time to work these problems, let's check your solutions. Okay, for the first problem, here is the work. You should have gotten 109.54 square centimeters. And for the second problem, you should have gotten 137 square meters. All right, that's it for today. I hope you all have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.